Hello, in this tutorial we're going to be using external style sheets to apply a theme to a web page. In the previous tutorial we looked at the first two methods of applying CSS, and those methods were using inline styling. So that's where we apply a style within the actual HTML tag in the body section of the web page. Second method we looked at was using an internal style sheet. So that's where we add a style sheet to the head section of the web page and we put all our style information in there. And the third method, which we're going to look at today, is using an external style sheet. And that's where we store all of our CSS style information in an external file, which can be used across a number of web pages. So the disadvantages with using inline styling were that if we wanted to apply a style to every single paragraph or every single heading on a web page, then we'd have to manually go in and update the style for every single paragraph tag and every single heading tag. So that was the problem with inline styling. And that was fixed by using internal style sheets. So we could add in the head section a style sheet and we could apply a style using a P selector or H1 selector and so on to apply a style for every single paragraph and every single heading using that H1 tag. So that fixed that problem. But then the other problem that we have now is that if we have several pages on our website, what if we want to update the theme for every single page on the website? Now the downside of using internal style sheets is that you'd have to go in and manually update this internal style sheet on every single web page to change the theme. So instead we can use external style sheets where the theme is stored in an external CSS file, and we can apply a theme to all our web pages in one single file. So we don't have to update every single web page or every single HTML file to change the theme. Now, to do that, you need to create an external file. Just change that there so it's blank. So we create an external CSS file. So I've already done that. I clicked on File and New File, and I created a new file called stylesheet.css. You can name it whatever you like. You can name it My Style, a theme, whatever, but it must end in .css because it's going to be a CSS file. Okay, so basically we put our theme in this external style sheet the same way that we did using internal styling in the previous tutorial. So I've got on my web page here, I've got a heading. It says this heading is red and has a border. I've got a paragraph that says this text is blue. Whoops. So I want to apply a red border. I want to apply red text and a border to this heading, and I want to apply blue colored text to this paragraph. So in my style sheet, I can start putting the style information here. So I can use the H1 selector, curly braces, and I could say color is, what was the color? Red. And then on the next line, I can say border, and I can say solid and 1 pixel. Okay. I can then go down. So that's all within the curly braces there. I've got the H1 selector, so I'm applying red color to the text, and I've got a border with it's solid and 1 pixel. Go back to my page and I see that I've got a paragraph here, and I want to apply a blue text to all the paragraphs on my web pages. So not just on this web page, but every web page that uses this style sheet. So it's blue text, so I'm going to use the P selector, curly braces, and I'll say color is blue. And I will save that. So I've got stylesheet.css, I've got my H1 theme there, and my paragraph theme there. So as you can see, I've created this style sheet the same way. I've used the same information, same formatting, same syntax as I did when I used an internal style sheet in the previous tutorial. The only difference here is that I'm putting it in a separate file, an external style sheet file, which means that to apply it, I need to tell my web pages where that file is. So in the head section of my web page, I add this tag. So link rel, which stands for relationship, equals style sheet, and then I link it to my style sheet, which the file, it's in the same folder as my web page. So I've got my web page HTML file here, and I've got my style sheet.css file there. So it's in the same folder, so I can just put style sheet.css and then type equals text slash CSS and then close that tag. All right, now that I've added the link tag in here and I've referenced my style sheet file, it will grab this style sheet file and it will use the H1 selector to change headings to red text with a border, and it will use the P selector to change paragraphs to blue text. So now I should be able to open this in my browser. There we go. I've got red text with a border and I've got blue text. And so if I add more paragraphs, you'll see that it also applies the formatting to that, applies the style to that. Okay. If I add a heading using H2, you'll see it won't apply the style to that because I haven't applied a style using the H2 selector in here. I could do that. I could say H2 and then I could say something like background color is yellow. Okay, and now that I've used the H2 selector in my style sheet, this heading here should have a yellow background. There we go. All right, so that's how to use an external style sheet in using CSS. If I went on and added extra web pages to my website, I had a whole heap of web pages, and I used this link tag and linked it to that style sheet in every single web page, then every web page would have this theme. Okay, and if I ever want to update the theme across my website, all I need to do is change the style information in this style sheet file. I don't actually have to go in and manually edit the style on every single page. Okay, so it's a much better way of using style sheets across a website with many web pages where you want to have a consistent theme. Thanks for watching.